Oh, I was about to press. I was about to press end stream. Oops, wrong button. Share. It's funny how I had an extra hour in bed and yet, or an extra hour available, and yet I still, well, I chose to lay in bed. So it seems a bit dark again here. I'm not sure why. I haven't got a drink either. I was going to play some music, a song that I love to hear, but I couldn't play it because they've changed the copyright on YouTube of it, so I can't. It's banned in like loads of countries, so there's no point in me putting it on when it's banned. So I would sing it to you, but it's more piano based, so it's all piano. It's all piano, so I can't sing it. I'm playing it in my head instead. Okay, so I might even boil the kettle and then sorry, I'm a bit late this morning. I don't know what happened. Let me just I have a particular water routine that I have to do, so it may take a few minutes to actually boil the kettle, but I have to filter this and filter that and change things around, and it's I thought I had loads of time, so I just didn't. I really took my time getting dressed and in the bath, and So welcome to the Sunday stream on this beautiful Sunday morning. So I do these streams most Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and most Sundays at 10 a.m. and that's UK time. We've just changed to an hour. We've gone back an hour, I think. Yeah, back an hour. So, but it's still UK time. So it's 10 a.m. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. Yeah. This clock's saying 11. It's 10 a.m. UK time on Sundays and 8:30 p.m. on Thursdays. So you're free to join at those times and listen and ask questions. Part 2. Oh. So the title of this talk is Life is All Things, I think. Life is all things. Yeah. Oh, so beautiful. And it feels like that is enough. Like that feels like it said everything in that sentence. Life is all things. Full stop. Period. End of. Life is all things. Finished. That's the end. Life is all things. Hang on a minute, sorry. That's the wrong side. Let's try and move this. Right there. Tissue. Oh, that's so sticky on the table. Yeah, it feels like feels like yeah. Life is all things. That's a direct pointing to the fullness and the completion or completeness of this, of what is happening. Life is all things. All that's appearing is life. All that's appearing is it. What you long for is what's appearing. Life. This is it. Wholeness appearing. Oh God. That always scares me when I hear my phone beeping. Okay. Oh. So like, what is being spoken about can't be put into language, can't be filtered into language. As humans, obviously, we use language to sticky. We use language to communicate. So whether it be an idea or a feeling or an experience, we try to use language to communicate that. We learn words, we learn how to we learn language, and then it just happens. It just happens. All of it just happens. Even the learning of language happens. And it's a way we communicate, a way we express, a way these machines express. So it's like an abstraction. We're taking an experience or a feeling or an idea, a picture, and we're trying to match that up with language, with words and meanings, to try to convey the feeling or the idea. But it's always going to be limited. It's never going to be the way it actually is. It's always going to be like a print or a not quite the original feeling or experience, a description of it, but never quite it. And so in speaking about this, it's like that. It's like you can't actually speak about it because because it already is everything. And so the words that are attempting to describe it are not quite it. Obviously they are it, the words are it, but it's not quite it. And so this communication isn't really in the words. The words point to it and try to describe it and talk about it, but it's not contained within language, in the verbal expression about it. And that's the attraction to these talks, to retreats, to the books. It's this attraction to this message of everything, of not a thing, of everything, of love, of freedom, but not necessarily just in the language of it, the talking about it. It's this resonance, it's this aliveness that is being trying to be described or pointed to. And that's what is longed for. That's what this joy is. This aliveness. Some call it presence or beingness. Which always is. It isn't that you go to a talk or a retreat or have a book and it's like it's in that. It's like a reminding. It's like a pointing to it. Beyond that story, that mental identity, that mental description is beyond that. So then what is what is left? What is left? If language and intellect and meaning and interpretation, if they aren't actually it, if the descriptions aren't actually it, then what is left? What is left? If this isn't found in the logical mind, if it isn't found in understanding it, in the intellect, then what is left? What is left? What is left? What's left is all things. What's left is everything. What's left is life happening. This, what is. Oh, that's funny. The most obvious thing, the most simplistic thing. What is? What's happening? So yeah, maybe you can ask questions now. I shall go online on Skype. Oh, hi Sandra. I have been watching your videos. They are so helpful. My question is, it seems so obvious what you're pointing to, but the most difficult thing. Yeah, it is. Why is it so hard? Yeah. Because this can't be had by anyone. This can't be life. What's appearing can't be held and had but by someone. That's why it's difficult. You believe you are someone, a character, a story, but that isn't the reality of things. That's appearing, this seeming character, this seeming story, but it isn't who's living. It isn't true. And so this identity that's been claimed and owned, and it feels to be a real someone in the body, who feels it like it's a real, it's me, it's someone in here experiencing life, walking through life. This one isn't true. That idea, that belief, that sense of being in the body as a fixed reality, as a fixed person, isn't true. Like it's made of thin air and it's trying to grasp, but it can't possibly grasp. It doesn't exist as a reality. It's a dream happening. It's a story happening. A description happening. Me and my life, me and what I've been through, me and what I'm moving towards. It's never been questioned before if this is an actual real somebody or if it's a story playing out. It's been taken by society to be a fixed reality, a truth. There's somebody experiencing life. That story of someone is actually a real someone in the body. And so, of course, it can't get this. It can't get to this because it's a story playing, a dream playing. It isn't the reality of this. So what's being pointed to is not in that story of someone. So it isn't subject to getting and losing. That belongs to something in time, getting and losing. And that story appears here, in this freedom. But it will never result. The end of that story doesn't result in you getting it, you arriving, you finding wholeness for you. It doesn't end in that high you're hoping for. But when I am just here without mind, it seems not enough. Is there an addiction to the false self? It makes sense, we can't grasp it. Yeah, it's like an addiction to being somebody, an addiction to that story. Um, It seems not enough. Yeah. I don't know. It's like this isn't about you. It isn't about that story of you. And through hearing this, it seems as if through hearing this over and over, it seems to like clear away all these ideas that make you up, these ideas that seem real. It's pointing to what naturally is happening, as opposed to just that story of you that's appearing. It isn't that you achieve something or you get something. It's more a subtraction. It's a subtraction. And what is left is all things, everything. Thank you, Sandra, for your question. Yeah. So there are no more questions. Oh, hang on. Someone is writing. I'm assuming it's to me, but it may not be. We'll soon find out. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Hi, Kat. It seems clear that my experience is emptiness, vast and silent, which I love, and yet the story still spins. Does the spinning story stop with full awakening? It seems clear. Just to be honest with you, when I sometimes read stuff like questions, I hear the words, but they're like empty. I can't quite. Hang on. Hang on. If you ask different speakers that question, they'll probably say different things. Some would say, with full awakening, the story stops. There's no more story. But I don't know if I can express it like that. Maybe it's been a half awakening here. I don't know, or a 3/4 awakening. I don't know. But from this experience, it's like I can't. There is still stories. There is still stories that come up. There's still stories that appear. I don't know how. It's just the way the brain is. There's stories. There's interpretations. There's stories about how I know somebody, where I've met them. You know, there's still stories that come up here. So from this experience, what I'm talking about is like a waking up of that which isn't contained in the story, a revealing of that which is free from stories, free from everything. It's free, regardless of emotion, of thoughts, of stories, of experiences. It's free. That's what I point to, or try to point to. This immaculate innocence, this nakedness which is free. But then also, all appearances that appear, so the thoughts, the emotion, the experiences, the story, is that freedom? Is that all things are free? So it's a freedom from those things, and yet it's a freedom by collapsing totally into those things. So there is just those things. So there is just the emotion, there is just the feeling. There is just what's happening, all of it. I'm not sure how clear that was in language. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you for your honesty. That is very clear. I see that here. Occasionally, there is still something that's still believing it's happening to me if I have strong feelings or thoughts. Yeah. Yeah. But then is that true? Is it happening to someone, to you? Are these strong thoughts and feelings happening to a separate entity? That isn't being asked for you to mentally answer that, but it's asking as in like an exploration, explore that and see, is it happening to me? And if it's a yes, it's happening to me, then seeing, exploring and looking and seeing, who is this me that it's happening to? Where am I? Where am I? Thank you, Kat, for your question. Really, yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers. So it's interesting, the question and the responses that come. It really is like a freshness. I don't have a bag of answers ready. It's just whatever comes, really. So I really enjoy that. Thank you for asking. So yes, that is all for Sunday. I'm back on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. UK time. So have a great week. Thanks for joining and for joining in, and I'll see you next week. Bye.